Well, now for the moment y'all been waiting for. Now that's not true. This is a 2007 Kawasaki KX450F. Purchased it with a locked up engine. It seems like it wants to rotate a little bit. Stick around, we're going to tear it apart and see if we can get this one going. Nope, wrong side. This has all the telltale signs of a jumped or broken timing chain. That's usually not fantastic news. We'll keep our fingers crossed that the head is not too badly damaged. Nope, stripped. The cam caps are numbered. It's a tightening sequence, and I'll take them apart with the same sequence. When you pull these cam caps off, you want to make sure these little tubes that run back and forth between the two, and they have some O-rings on them, they're going to have a tendency of falling out. Be sure these little clips don't fall down inside the motor either. I see chunks. Broken timing chain. This head is not destroyed. Usually when these chains break and this engine's spinning over, the valves come in contact with the pistons. Now it does look like the valves touch the pistons, if just ever so slightly, and I'm going to have to check the valves to make sure that they're not bent. I was almost willing to bet that with the timing chain broken that this head was going to be destroyed. Now the engine still will not spin, so my next course of action is to pull off the magneto cover, and let's take a look if there's any damage in there. There are definitely chunks in here. We gotta go and do a little research. Oh, it was a piece of the camshaft. I didn't even notice that. I'm taking a closer look at the cam on the bench here shortly. The engine's actually spinning over nicely. I'm going to pull the cylinder off. We'll take a look at the rings, see if we need to re-ring it or do any kind of work on the crankshaft. Cylinder's in nice shape. We'll go ahead and measure that up, see if we can reuse it. No mark on the ring, strange. I measured my ring gap, 0.45 millimeters. That's out of spec and needs to be replaced. Turning the screwdriver should move this tensioner in and out, and I gotta turn it way too much. So this tensioner has 100% failed. Now it's the old chicken and the egg deal. Did the tensioner fail and cause the chain to break, or did the chain to break damage the tensioner? Either way, we're going to replace the chain and the tensioner. Yeah, that's not right. The journal is scored pretty bad, and obviously all of the automatic decompression assembly is gone. I'm going to go ahead and replace this cam. Maybe we'll replace both. This bearing is shot too. This one's binding too, this bearing. We're going to get a set of new cams for it. The biggest problem here is buying these cam caps. They come with the head, machined to the head. Although I've replaced them before, they're just really hard to get. They don't sell them separately, and this one is definitely damaged. That's going to be the biggest hurdle. Well, it looks like we've got a good baseline on what we've got to order. It could certainly be much worse. It could certainly be much better, but all in all, I'm pleased with what's wrong with it. Shouldn't be too big of a problem. We'll go ahead and get this thing fixed. Now that we got the head apart, I'm going to go ahead and check these valves. Best thing to do is just chuck them up in a drill, and you can spin them. You can obviously see that that valve is bent. That one is also bent. The whole shaft. like just the head is bent on this one. This one here actually looks like it's in really good shape. I don't see any bend to it, but I just replaced all of them. I'm actually thinking about just getting a used head and going through that at this point. This head is still in really pretty good condition. Just the cam cap is bad. I know it's difficult, and I had a hard time finding the cam cap. So, and with all the bent valves and the camshaft being bad, it's just better to buy an assembly. Well, after a lot of comparison shopping, whether or not to go with a new head, and then I'd have to buy cams and valves and everything else, I decided on getting a used head off of the auction website, and it's in good shape. You know what I mean? There's definitely, the cam caps, everything are beautiful. The intake valve, one of the intake valves has a little bit of a little chip on it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, but it's in really good condition. I'd already went ahead and shimmed the valves properly out here on the bench. Makes it super simple. So it's basically just bolt this thing back together. Obviously, new genuine Kawasaki timing chain, new tensioner, and of course our retainer that was damaged. I picked that up. We got a top end gasket kit. So let's get this bike back together, and hopefully she starts up for us. That'd be a nice little treat. Put your cover back on so you can get your timing marks. These are the oil tubes that feed oil that comes up from the block to the cam cap. If these are dirty or not installed correctly, or you run low oil in your bike, it definitely won't lubricate this part of the cam, and this is what you get. You can see how worn this cam cap is. It's destroyed. You cannot buy these separately, like I said, so definitely make sure that these are installed correctly. Well, now comes the moment of truth. I got it all back together. Put some gas in it, non-ethanol, oiled up, slap out of coolant, so I can't run this thing for long if it starts. Let's hope it was all worth it, because I'm sweating in here. Hit that bell, let you know when my next video comes out. Appreciate you 100%. If you got any questions or comments, you know where to put them down below. I'll try to answer every one of them. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Well, forgive me for the fan noise. It's pretty warm here. After running this thing for just a tick, I think what you heard, it sounded like it was a little noisy, like a lower end knock. So I wanted to double check to make sure that this oil pump was pumping, since that chain did come off and some debris did get into the engine. I'm going to pull this clutch cover off and check the screen. I pulled my new filter off and she's dry as a bone, so she's not pumping any oil. We got to get this cover off and take a look at it. We may have to replace the oil pump. I guess it's a good thing I didn't put any coolant in it. It's definitely pretty nasty in here. Well, it turns out on the old cock here, the debris screen is actually underneath the oil pump cover on the left side. And you can see the screen. Yeah, it's seen better days for sure. So there's definitely not going to be any oil flow through there. So, well, we'll clean all this stuff up and that should fix our problem.